So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right. Welcome to the Big and Small Podcast. I'm Jason Shields and I'm big.
And I'm Marit, and I'm the tiny one.
Whoa, it's been a minute.
It's been a long minute.
Holy. Back in the hot seats again.
Back in the hot seat.
God bless us.
Episode 100.
Ho, 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 ho. It's amazing. It's like 50 cents times 2. It's like
$1.
the dollar.
Whole dollar.
It's a dollar podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
A whole dollar.
Yep. So, educate me what is going on in your life.
I think you were the one that's doing the educating.
Okay. Let's get on it. So, we have been away a little bit because
Life is life.
Life is life. We've been upgrading the websites that we have for the Integrated Human. We've been working on webinars. If you haven't been on one of our free webinars, you should definitely jump on it. Talking about education, it's good stuff. We're working up towards flow state in September. Can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing.
Looking forward.
Yes, and I'm writing the book.
Jason's writing the book.
Yes, where I introduce the flow funnel and basically the process of predicting success in your life. And also, if you are a coach or a life coach, understanding what real coaching is. It's important.
What would you say real coaching is?
Well,
because we do say that to be a coach, you kind of have to done something.
Yeah, well, that's you should have. If you're going to be a life coach, you should have had a life and you should have had coaching.
Yes.
Right. So a lot of people stop at suggesting stuff or telling people to do things. Okay. So I tell you, okay, you smoke, which you don't, but say you smoke, stop smoking. And now I'm being a coach. That's not a coach. The coach has to figure out, why do you smoke? And then figure out what you're actually gaining from smoking, because you don't do anything in your life that doesn't serve you. The problem is that you don't know that it necessarily is serving you because it's unconscious.
So if you do smoke, you usually I would say you work maybe an hour less a day.
Yeah.
Because you have four 5-minute smoke breaks.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people that I knew back in the States when I was I think I was second year in college. We were working during the summer. They started smoking so they could have a break, because this one guy didn't smoke and he took a break with everybody else. And the boss came out and busted him. He's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm taking a break." "Well, you're not smoking." "Yeah, I don't smoke." "Well, get back in there and work, man." So there is always a payoff.
Yeah, I also I've seen the tendency regarding in Norway of something called snus. Becoming unfortunately bigger in the States also. The thing you put underneath your lip. Chew. You put underneath your lip. And it's really big. Should maybe not say this, but it's really big in the Norwegian army.
Yeah.
And when I'm in there, and it's really interesting because I never used it, never tried. Do not plan on doing that either. I don't see why. But since I'm out of the social context.
Yeah.
Because they can kind of give it, like when it's awkward, you with each other once a year, or you've never been there before, you kind of can bond over,
break social boundaries with your chew.
Can't we do chocolate instead?
Yeah, exactly.
Can we bond over chocolate instead of
they call you the Snicker lady. Here's have a Snickers, have a Snickers, have a Snickers.
Yes,
they love you. They would love you.
That's actually true. Yeah, you would bond over something, or you would do something for a reason.
Yeah.
So to tell someone to just stop doing it is not a good coaching.
That's it. And then same has to do with athletics or business or whatever, because you have to go inside and really kind of understand yourself to a certain degree at least make conscious some of the mechanics of the decision making. And it's very easy often in high level sports, like with you, for example, or myself, that have been pushing ourselves in jiu-jitsu, because you get to a point where you continually fail on the same things and you wonder, why am I failing on those things? And you try to fix it and it's not fixable because it's not a technical issue. And that's the thing. You have to be able to distinguish between technical issues, strategic issues, capacity issues, and worthiness issues, because capacity and worthiness are not the same.
No.
And that's actually a thing we can talk about today if you'd like, because
I always find worthiness to be an interesting subject.
it is, because I can believe that you're worthy, but you may not believe that you're worthy. And you may be telling everybody how worthy you are, but you don't feel the worthiness inside. Or you have the opposite. Some people feel worthy and they confuse that with capability or capacity.
Exactly.
Right? I can do anything. The feeling of you being able to do anything is amazing.
Is devouring the right word? Like it's just amazing. There's no limits.
Yeah, you feel that inside
like
you.
You're superhuman.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
Climb Mount Everest.
You're unbounded.
Feed starving children.
Yeah,
You can travel the world. Yeah, of course. Travel the world.
Yes.
No one can touch you.
Exactly.
Until
and so many 18-year-old men walking into a jiu-jitsu gym the first time have that feeling until they get touched.
But I also had it, like, I overcome something and I go, now I understand it. I know this now.
Yeah.
And how the mighty falls.
And then the context changes a little bit, and then the understanding has to change.
Yeah, or my perspective change.
Yeah.
From 1 degree to 2, and you go, I don't understand anything. And then you go from, I have many ego that's that way, because you think you know something, you figure it out, you know who you are or what it is. And then you get proven the opposite. You still don't know. You just still have more to learn. You still have more to go on. Yeah. And that is a very interesting cycle.
It is.
Yeah.
The Kruger-Dunning effect, which means the less you know, the more certain you know everything.
Yeah.
The more you know, the less you actually know, because you understand how infinite everything is. With this worthiness thing, it hits at 2 different levels, right? Okay. One, it has to do with your emotional state, that emotional state of suddenly overcoming something very difficult and getting high, right? Mm-hmm. Raise your hand if you've done it. I raise my hand.
I've done it. Yep. Guilty. That's as charged.
Strutting around, feeling excellent.
Yeah.
The other one is more of a spiritual experience where you actually become that unbounded source of everythingness. That is also a very interesting experience, because when you are that state and you are omnipotent, meaning all powerful in that state, in that place, but not in this place, and you try to live after those universal principles. Now, if you have had a spiritual process, or you have taken DMT, or you have been high on mushrooms, you know what I'm talking about. You expand yourself to the point where you are the universe. Meditation's given me that. And to come back and want to give everything I have to everybody, because everybody is worthy, because they are infinite beings of light, just as me, and actually come from the same source, are me. I forget that my pockets have limits. My credit card has a balance. I have to pay rent.
Jason D. Shields has a frame.
I have a frame. Exactly. I have a frame. So to understand where I'm identifying in the flow funnel is a part of this book, to understand how to really figure out your subconscious and conscious mind, where it meets, where it transitions, and how each one of these things set a certain frame around your infinite beingness, your consciousness, your imagination, your highest goals and ambitions, how that's framed in, not to be limited, but to gain speed and power and manifest. It's like a funnel. We call it the flow funnel. Just like if you have a slow moving river but you put it in a funnel, is it going to squirt out the other side? Heck yeah, it
it's
is.
gonna go quicker.
It's gonna speed
gain momentum and power and
Exactly.
direction.
That's correct. Exactly. And that's what happens when we put the frames around ourselves. So it's not limitation, it's manifestation. But if you don't want to choose something, you don't want to manifest a thing, then you're going to have a hard time focusing. And
Yeah.
then those frames feel crappy. And that's part of coaching also, because one of those important things is to decide something. You must choose. Did you want to be a jiu-jitsu athlete?
Yes.
Yes. Did you want to commit the time for it?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you want to do the work?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you want to learn the skills?
Yes.
Did you want to show up at tournaments?
Yes.
That's it. And you walked away with bling. That's the way it worked. So it's about that manifestation process. People today have been sold that they are worthy of the medal without showing up on the mat, making a choice, even choosing a sport.
Getting a participation medal.
You get
it's the same as getting
exactly
the competition medal.
Yeah, it's the same as
everybody's worthy. Everybody should get.
Exactly. And everybody's worthy as a human being. Everybody is in their essence infinite and amazing and wonderful, but it doesn't mean that they can show up like that. So I'm worthy and I'm a damn good chiropractor.
Yes.
Right?
Supports 100%.
Thank you. History shows.
I
have facts. But I'm not a great brain surgeon.
No.
And you can say, and how do I know? No, I haven't done brain surgery. But I have all the anatomy. I have the neurophysiology. I have the neurochemistry. I could easily read a book on surgical technique. But do you really think, unless it's zombie apocalypse, that you want me to do your brain surgery?
No, if I have a brain surgeon,
yes,
I would choose him.
Exactly.
Before you, but if I can choose, if I have to do it, and I have to choose between you and or their PT friend Rutger, I would choose you.
Yeah,
because again, it has to do with knowledge within the field.
Yeah,
you have more knowledge than him, but a brain surgeon is going to have more knowledge on brain surgery than you have.
Exactly.
Hopefully,
and he's going to be way better at developing your Tabitha workouts than I am, because I'm not interested.
That's his capacity.
That's his great capacity. Are we both worthy as humans? Yes. And that's the difference. So many people have been confused, because if we're all equal, then we must all have the same capacities as well.
Or be the same.
I
liked something you said many years ago, but it's you have like, what's called in English, likestilling?
Yeah, it's equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
And you just
women, I think it's women's liberation and equality.
Yeah, yes. You have like a saying for that in Norway, Yeah. And you said, no, we're not the same, because it's basically states we're the same.
We are alike.
Yeah, we are alike. It's that directly translated. It's gonna be we are alike. Yeah. And you go, no, we're not. And I'm like, you're coming here. You men. Yeah. What's it called?
Yeah, exactly.
Not female.
Man chauvinist.
Thank you.
Male chauvinist.
Male chauvinist. And then you go, no, we're not the same, are we? I have a beard, you don't. I'm like, yeah. I'm taller than you. Yeah. We're not the same. You sleep better in airplanes than I do. Yeah. We have the same worth.
Yeah.
But we're not the same people.
We have the same value as humans and basic human rights.
But we're not the same.
Exactly. It's like a watercolor painting. I've been doing some coloring, watercolor painting. Yeah, exactly. Lately. And if you put too much water, the water kind of, it runs out.
Yeah.
And it mixes and it's not nice. And that's what happens without these frames of understanding, precise frames. Then you can never really accelerate your life because you start to confuse, for example, worthiness with capacity. And then you may ignore your need to become skilled or to gain education or to level yourself up. So
and then we'll look at others and say, yeah, but they are, why am I not? We're the same. Said, well, do you wake up at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning? No, I sleep until 10. Well, then you're not the same, are you?
Exactly.
You can't expect the same results then.
No, exactly.
It's going to be different.
Exactly.
So, and we did this not too long ago. You said, if you look at we were talking to a friend of ours, and we used the two of us as an example and said, the two of us, me and Jason, are more alike than Marit would be to any other woman in this restaurant.
Yes.
And he was like, what are you meaning? You meant she's female, she's in her 30s, you're in your 50s.
Yeah. She's
Well,
tiny, blonde, and cute, and I'm a big hairy dude. Yeah. It's like,
your words, not
yeah,
mine.
yeah.
But then, well,
I'm a great dude.
Marit, what do you have for breakfast? 3 eggs. What do you have for breakfast?
3 eggs.
3 eggs. So what do you have for lunch? A salad with 3 eggs. A salad with 3 eggs. When did you work out today? 10:30. When did you work out? 10:30. When do you go to, and you can see our life is.
How many times today did you change clothes? How many times did you shower?
And it was actually the same
what
thing.
What time did you wake up this morning? How long did it take you to get to work? How long?
You use 8 minutes more than me for now.
Yeah, for the moment.
In 9 months, we will have this exact same amount of time to work again.
Yeah, exactly. That's
exactly.
it. And this is the point, is that we live almost exactly the same, right? And we have the same human values, but I'm still a chiropractor and you're a CEO.
Yeah.
Right? So you have a capacity as a CEO. I have a capacity as a chiropractor, but we're both worthy. I'm not less worthy because I'm only a chiropractor. And I would say that if it came to adjusting patients, I have capacity. But in your situation, you're a CEO. I wouldn't want your job. I don't have the ability and the capacity for it. So I'm so grateful you're taking it. So we could live in a world of gratefulness. Thank you for being amazing.
But that's the thing. And I think many people, especially because we got a question that came in, because in Norway it's been a big discussion about, and I don't know generation language, if it's generation Z or millennium or whatever, the generation coming up now, whatever letter that is, if they are lazy. And I'm like, yes and no. They don't have any chance. Or that they're not taught anything else. So of course they're lazy, because they are grown up in a world where you don't have to you are deserving and worthy and the same.
And receive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not the framework my parents or my grandparents was raised with.
No, exactly.
So are they lazy?
No.
Yeah. They don't have a choice. They are who they are with the framework they're given.
Yeah.
And you can blame them and shame them, but who raised them?
Exactly.
They don't stand a chance. Like I was listening to the other day, was this Jimmy Carr. Is a comedian that 50 years ago, like a hot shower was luxury. And now you take 5 hot showers a day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you are raised to know that you deserve a medal just for showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You say in the flow state that you are king or queen of your universe.
Yes.
But you kind of step into that role in king and queen. But people are calling themselves kings and queens, but they're being princesses and princes.
Yes.
And if you think about the difference between a king and queen and the difference between a princess and prince, you should be a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
Because one are entitled and, how to not say very bad words right now? Entitled, I'm going to say bad words, dipshits that are deserving of everything. And, you know, you have the tale of the princess that laid on the pea.
Oh, that's the fairy tale.
Yeah.
Where the princess lays on these I don't know how many
100 mattresses
and can still feel a pea that's laying in there.
And then she was worthy. She was a princess because she was that sensitive.
Yeah.
Really? A queen would take that torn out and pull in and go to bed.
Yeah.
Because she's a kingdom to rule the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to do with exactly.
Owning your
universe. That's
owning your universe. So I think it's more of a confusion thing right now. And because we are not taught to look at things, one will think that your competency shouldn't matter anymore, which I find very disrespectful. We are not allowed anymore to acknowledge great work because we're equal. We're the same. We're not allowed to say that you have more capacity than the other, because then we per definition are calling the other ones shit, which is not the true case, because in their field, they would be great. But say that within chiropractic, I will say within human understanding and coaching, you are great. But the next door neighbor maybe not. But we could be genius in gardening.
Yeah.
But we're taught that everything is now equal in one pile. We shouldn't differentiate between things.
Yeah. And it's only going to get worse because ChatGPT and all of these things are going to basically make knowledge, quote unquote knowledge, mute. It's going to be something that you can easily get. Why would you ask a smart person to tell you something when you could just ask your phone? The difference is the wisdom and the experience that comes from understanding that knowledge in one situation isn't knowledge in every situation, and you can't Google every moment, and you can't Google every change in situation. That's where the deep understanding's coming. And I believe that a lot of the people who pretend to have wisdom, pretend to have insight, that don't really evaluate themselves are going to disappear in the knowledge base. Because you have to be smarter than ChatGPT. You have to be smarter than Grok. You have to be smarter. And that's, yes, can you? Yes, because there's a certain perspective and wisdom and context that information can't give you. And that's a little bit the issue with this generation that you're talking about, because they are so informed. They're so smart. You talk to an average 20-year-old, man, they can tell you more stuff about sex than I have ever learned. They can tell you more stuff about law and what their rights are than I ever learned. I never even considered my rights. I just figured I'd show up and work and do a good job and be ethical, right? I mean, they can tell you so much about what's going on in the world. Well, in the 80s, man, you didn't have instant access to information about what Putin ate for breakfast and what Donald Trump's meme coin's doing today. You couldn't even resource, you couldn't get your hands on that information. You'd have to read like seven different major newspapers for that. Now it's just slamming your phone constantly, and people are scrolling themselves into oblivion. And when a teacher, which you used to respect because they had information and knowledge that you needed, an expert who has a PhD in something, who had knowledge and information that you don't, now is basically the same as your ChatGPT app on your phone, because they're not living with you and can't give you specially customized information based on your situation, your personal situation. Then being an influencer on the phone is as good as being a PhD. Exactly what you're saying. It's absurd. It's absurd because the general set of information out there is known, accessible. I saw that transition. Like my dad, he memorized everything. His generation knows all the fancy dates, right? My generation no longer bothered themselves with memorizing stuff because we knew we could access it. Today, man, people don't even remember what they ate for breakfast yesterday. They don't remember what meeting they were supposed to go to because they got zombified on their phone and forgot to send a message saying that they were going to show up or not show up, right? If they don't have it coming in on their mobile phone, they don't know what was going to happen. So society has kind of put less and less frames on who we are and what capacity and capability are. And we've become more and more focused on our worthiness, hashtag wokeness, right? And so I think a lot about this transition that you're mentioning.
Yeah, it's really scary.
Yeah.
I think it's really scary
It
because
is.
we are becoming dumber and dumber. And I think if the society don't put frameworks on us, we have to put the frameworks on us.
Yeah, we have
To do that.
Yes.
And that's what we talk about when we say step into a kingdom, step into a queendom.
Yes.
Stop being a prince or a princess.
Yeah.
Again, I would like you to think about that, because for me it was like, oh shit, I'm a queen. I'm not a princess.
Yeah.
Because it has to do with how you enter the world, how you feel entitled. I don't feel entitled. I know what I work hard and I deserve what I get. Easy. not given.
Exactly.
You become that person that can have because you do the work to be the one. And that thing, took so long for me to really understand that, to become that thing. Because we have talked about it. If you listen to one of the 100 episodes of the Big and Small podcast,
Yep.
you will hear you mentioned it many times about the secret. You know, you're gonna sit and you're gonna manifest the Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
But to get that, you need to become the person. And I didn't understand what that was. But me and my husband was talking about it yesterday because we are building a house.
Yes. Oh, great house.
Yeah, a
Wonderful
great house. But we need
next door neighbors.
becoming neighbors.
Yeah.
So if you think me and Jason are alike already,
Yeah.
we will now have the same sunset.
Yes, exactly.
And sunrise.
Except yours a little better than mine, right? A little bit.
No comment.
Yeah.
Don't want that on the record. So
Yeah.
but we were looking into, because we need then of course another dishwasher. What do you wash your clothes with?
Yeah,
washer and dryer, not dishwasher.
Yes.
Washer and dryer.
Yeah.
So we went online to just kind of start to see if it's anything that's popping out now, because then we can save some money on it, and just
Black
start
Friday,
looking. Black Friday is coming.
Yeah.
We have storage space, so maybe we can just do some good deals. And then he looked into gaming computers, because that was his dream when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And he found kind of the cabinet, not the computer screen and stuff, but just the cabinet. And what that means, I don't know, but just the cabinet. And he said, "Do you know what that is? What that cost?" I'm like, 150,000 crowns, which is $15,000. And he's like, "No, but you know, it's $5,000." I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And then he said, "I'm that person now." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "I could buy that." And then I just realized he now was that person he dreamt about as a kid.
Yeah.
Because when he was 15, he's gone online and say, who are these people that can afford this?
Exactly.
And yesterday he realized that he's become that person. He doesn't have time for gaming.
No.
Because he's too busy.
And that's the paradox.
Because he's too busy working and being in the garden and planting pear trees now, because that's his passion. But he was just like, I could buy that thing now. So he kind of really emphasized he had become that person. He doesn't have to empty his bank account to get it, but he can get it if he wants to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You kind of see that evolution of self where, you know, the kid wanted all the candy in the candy store, but when you become the adult, you could buy all the candy, but you don't.
I do.
There you go, right? Nice. If you can still take the joy in the candy, that's good, right?
Yes, and love myself some candy.
Absolutely. But that's the difference, in a way, between a person who's telling you what to do and a real coach, that they will help you do self-authoring. But when you do the integrated human process, you'll do self-transformation. And only about 5% of people right now are able to go to the self-transformation level.
What will say is the difference?
The difference is realizing the self and realizing that you can inside change any habit, change any tone of emotion. You can change the frames at will. Self-authoring, that often comes from understanding that, oh, that's fucked up, I have to fix it. But you may not necessarily be able to maintain it, or it can be a large struggle because the reasons for that being there aren't understood. So, for example, I have a really good friend, and she was abused sexually as a child. And then as she was growing up, she was always heavy. She always was really focused on trying to lose the weight, and nobody else in her family was overweight, by the way. So it was natural. I mean, she was eating what they're eating, but so there was a lot of unconscious action there. And when she then got in a situation where she had a personal trainer and everything, she would start getting good results. And then suddenly there would be all kinds of reasons why, and very valid reasons why she couldn't
she's
go to training.
justified. Is a reason for it.
Yeah, there's a very good reason why she couldn't show up, and she would gain the weight again. And she found out, and her personal trainer found out, that it was always when she got into the 12 kilo or like 25, 26 pounds mark.
When she lost that.
When she lost that, then shit would go sideways constantly. And they were wondering, is it a cycle in your life or what is it? No, because she started looking better.
And then we have to go back to it. Just said, because that's what you said. I think it's really interesting because that's how we often detect things. How you taught me to detect things is the pattern of 3.
Yes.
So when it's happened 3 times that she hit that 12 kilo mark or 25 pounds mark, then it's a pattern, because 1 can happen.
Yeah.
Twice it can happen.
Yeah.
But if you do something 3 times, then it's a pattern. So if you're constantly on a sick leave before a vacation, if you're getting to the 12 kilo mark and then gain weight again, it's a pattern.
It's a pattern.
But they figure it out.
Yeah. They figured it out and figured out that she needed to work with this. So we did. And we went deep diving. She started to look at the trauma that she had basically kind of pushed behind her, felt that she had resolved it for herself, no longer had any aggression at all towards the person that it happened with. It was her brother, right? So it was they understood kind of that this was...
You have an intellectual understanding about it.
Yeah, but they weren't able to fix the rest of it, right? So when she then had done a lot of the inner work and done the deep meditation, that frequency started to release. Basically, she became very conscious and aware that the person inside her was no longer her. She was able to fix the internal mechanisms and change the frame. And she was able to easily lose the weight and keep slim. And she was like everybody else in her family, right? So it's very interesting to see that process in a person. You know, that process, of course, if you read the book, Predicting Success, it's going to be coming out hopefully next year sometime. We're going to have to take it to editors and publishing and stuff towards the fall and winter. But
I just said it is common now because I've been reading stuff.
Yeah.
We have just too many words.
So
we need
words.
Actually a professional editor to help us to samurai it down. Yeah. So you don't have to read another Bible.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to publish it on Bible paper.
Yeah,
exactly. But understanding that process, understanding the structure of consciousness that then gives rise to your emotional states and such, is important, right? Mental states give rise to emotional experiences, which then express our lives. So if you're constantly having a self-sabotage, there's a reason, right? Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting process. So is there a difference between a coach and a mentor and a guide? I would say yes.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
You often, first of all, I'm on so many online things now to check what's out there for us. And I'm getting sold coaching packages.
Wow.
So much. To the point where I'm like, don't I have to actually prove anything to become this? You have to go through like a class, but it's knowledge, it's not experience.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
or even information, maybe you're not.
Yeah, it's even information. I'm like, from that, and that is one thing that always made me very skeptical to coaches and mentors in spiritual work and all that, because I couldn't resonate with the person. You say they're going to have a better life, and I look at you and I'm not getting the feeling like you can pay your bills.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if I want to take even healing advice from you.
Exactly.
Because I agree 100% with what you said before, and that is that it's very difficult to become healthier or better than the person that's helping you.
Yes.
If that's in therapy, if that's in clinical work, if that's in spiritual work,
financial advice.
Like you told a story about a guy that had like $1 million, and then went to the bank and asked what can I do with it, and he got some mumbo jumbo advice, and he just asked, have you ever had $1 million? She said, no, then I shouldn't take advice from you.
Exactly.
Because she doesn't know what it is to lose $1 million.
Exactly.
So I think that we should be careful who we take knowledge from. Look what they have accomplished.
Yeah.
Is there something you would like to have? You see that they are heading a direction that you would like if you want a free life with dreads, well, then we should maybe take advice from people with free life and dreads, and not from people in a suit. Just saying.
I know a guy who spent 6 months on a naked beach.
Yeah, you do that. I'm
know. Like, wow, ask that guy. I don't know
Ask
anything
that
about
guy.
that.
So to actually look at what knowledge they have within the framework that you're asking for. If you have back pain and go to chiropractor, I would say go to the one with the most experience that you heard good things about. Maybe not the first, the new guy in town that just comes out from school. Nothing bad with a new student, but I'm just saying you're gonna get different level of competency
and
understanding from a guy that's seen 40,000 patients versus the one that's seen 5.
Exactly.
There are difference between people.
Yeah.
And doesn't mean that you can work up to that knowledge, but actually understand that you are worthy, but competency is built.
Yeah.
It's not something that's given to you, it's something that's earned.
Yeah.
It's built over time.
Exactly.
It's something that you have to prove that you can have. And reciting ChatGPT is not the same as knowing.
It's not the same as knowing. And I'll tell you another thing. This is important because we started this whole conversation on worthiness, right? And sometimes I can believe you're worthy, but you may not believe it.
That happens often.
Well, that's the way it is. And we do have kind of like a worthiness spectrum inside us that moves during the day, right? And it may also, unfortunately, affect us if we do something and we fail at it, and we may feel that we're suddenly not worthy anymore. There's something called learned helplessness. Have you ever heard of that?
Never heard about.
This is interesting. Okay. And then I'll get back to the worthiness thing because it's an important point. Because I'm going to teach you how to measure your own self-worth. So.
No, half the people left the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, exactly. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So learned helplessness is important because it shows you the dynamics and the resilience that you must have in order to be successful in your life. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. It shows you the resilience, the kind and type of resilience you must have in order to be successful and happy in your life. Would you like to hear about it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Learn helplessness. So you have a classroom and they're divided in 2, and they're given 3 questions each. And all they have to do is look at the letters. There are letters on each line, and they have to basically rebuild these letters, mix them up. They're mixed up, and make words out of them, right? And they're given like 1 minute for the whole test. So one half of the room, and then you're supposed to raise your hand immediately when you got the first one. So she says, go. And after like 6 seconds, the whole right side of the room raises their hand. Nobody on the left side of the room raises their hand. And they're like, damn. So they're kind of working on it. And then suddenly, bam, 30 seconds in, the next one, this other side of the room raises their hand. Everybody on the right side of the room raised their hand, right? And nobody on the left side. And they're like, damn. And then bam, 40 seconds in, the last one is the right side of the room raises their hand. And then you look over on the other side and nobody raised their hand. And then it was over, and it turned out that it was a scientific experiment in a classroom where the first 2 questions weren't solvable on the left side at all, where they were solvable on the right side. So
they didn't get the same questions.
So it was success, success, success.
Failure.
But the third one could have been solved if they'd tried it. But they failed the first time in relationship to the other people. They still had lots of time. They failed on the second time in relationship to the other person.
Sorry, just got balloons up on the screen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I have no clue. Anyways.
And then The third one was solvable, and it was the same question on both sides, but almost nobody on the left side of the room even tried it because they were hopeless. They were like, oh, I can't do this. This
Doesn't
isn't good
work.
enough. That's learned helplessness. So it only takes a normal person 2 fails before they feel so demoralized that they're not able to try for the third one. Now, think about how limited people's lives are and how little belief in themselves they have. Man, I had massive learning disabilities. I was wrong 1,000 times, and I cried every night doing my homework, every single night, from 2nd grade until 7th grade. But did I stop doing my homework?
Don't think your mama let you.
No, my mama didn't let me.
I think your mama let you.
My mama didn't let me. But my point is to have the resilience to fail and keep moving and not learn that you're not able to have belief in yourself, because your worthiness and your belief in your ability to work should not be diminished based on your success or failure rate, because winners are the ones that have lost and continue to move. Oh, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8, right? That dumb thing. But actually, literally,
Live by that.
you have to be dumb enough, quote unquote, to live by that. Exactly.
Don't take no for an answer.
Don't take no for an answer. And
Try
that's
again.
one of the things that I believe is missing from the generation that's growing up today, because you can be right all the time. There's no longer any conversation about, yeah, I think it was like 60. No, man, dude, it was like definitely not 60. It was like 40. No, it was like more like 78. They Google that shit instantly. Their hands are in their pocket to fact check everything. Everything is answered all the time.
And if you dare to be wrong,
Yes.
you get shamed.
You're shamed. Oh, huh.
Don't you know?
Didn't you know? Right? Society doesn't allow you to be wrong and recover, because you're living in an information age. And if you don't have the information, you are stupid. And if you're stupid, you're not worthy. Exactly. And you learn to have learned helplessness, which attacks people's self-worth. And remember what I said, you're basically learning helplessness in relationship to who? The people who got it right. And when you're scrolling on your fucking phone, you're only looking at people with Botox surgeries and filters. So you are, compared to these people, what?
Failure.
A failure. You're wrong. You learn helplessness. So you get parked as a person. You have no self-esteem. You're only throwing yourself into what ChatGPT says. And it turns out that if you scroll more than 2 hours a day, your brain literally atrophies. It rots. And if you use ChatGPT not to correct your grammar and to fill things out and be a discussion partner, if you're literally having it to write your homework, guys, you don't learn anything. The science shows that you will not remember in 2 days what was written, which means that you basically are getting people with degrees, if they even go to school, that are worthless because they can't remember anything that they produced. This is not a good trend.
That's a positive note to end this podcast on.
No. Yeah.
Now you're pulling in the camera. You pulled on the blanket.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I'm getting excited.
He's getting excited. Jason pulled the blanket with his toes.
Yes, so exactly. I'm digging in right now because it's never been more important to have personal process.
Exactly.
To learn how to set real frames and to choose a life that you actually want to live, that you want to participate with, that you actually have the option today. We were talking about, your grandfather was a carpenter, so your dad became a
carpenter.
Yes, it was.
I'm not a carpenter.
You're not a carpenter.
I'm not a carpenter.
But it was so freaking easy.
Yeah.
It was restrictive, but you knew what.
And what you're gonna do.
You knew what you were gonna do. Exactly.
You had mentors. You had.
Yes.
You know where to get the knowledge. You knew where to get experience. People could carve things when they were 15.
Exactly. I've seen some of your grandfather's stuff. It's insane.
Yeah, it's
Like
insane.
the carving is amazing. And I can imagine the houses that you built were amazing.
Exactly.
You know, the whole point was you became an expert. But today, there's nothing like that.
We're online experts.
Yes. So
but we're not human experts in anything.
Exactly. And we're not experts in ourselves either. We're not experts at recovering from loss, tolerating issues, learning to take a mental, emotional hit and recover from it. Even though the information's out there, people don't know how to use it, right? So getting back to this worthiness thing that I promised. If you're sitting in a room with a person and they say something like, you know, in the world championship, when I won the gold medal in 2012, I used these 3 techniques most. So let me show you. If you feel angry, resentful, disgusted, confused, disturbed at all because that person mentioned the fact that they're a world champion, instead of going, oh, this works at world championship level, I should pay attention now because this works at the highest level. If you are intimidated of other people's success, if you get sick to your stomach when you hear people talk about their greatest moments, you have an issue. You have a self-esteem and a worthiness issue that must be fixed. When I hear about rich people, I think, good on them, amazing.
How do I do that?
Exactly.
Teach me.
And that's what I did. That's how I became financially free, right? I hung out with people who were financially free and learned about how they think and work. How did I become a world champion? I figured out what world champions were doing and I did it. I didn't despise and be disgusted at the fact that they were world champions. I wanted them to teach me, right?
I have some females world champions in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I just, please touch my gi.
Please.
I just would like to feel it.
Yes.
To learn from it.
What's this level?
You don't need to teach me anything. Just touch my gi, please.
Exactly. That's the point.
How does it feel like?
Yeah.
How is that level?
What is that level? What is that level? Please share. If you're happy, motivated, inspired, in love with their success, then you know that you have worthiness because your heart can meet their heart. So when we're living online and everybody is just as good and nobody's actually achieving anything before they're giving their opinion and talking online.
Only they're achieving is commercial money.
Exactly. If that, most people aren't even doing that. There's such a hole, and the people who are watching this online, they're constantly getting this learned helplessness, which does what to their self-esteem?
Drops it.
It drops it even more. So then people will start attacking those who are successful and achieve things. They'll start distancing people who have real world success, and they're hiding themselves more and more online where they don't actually have to accomplish anything. And that's the trend that you see. It's a very poisonous, very slow moving destruction of society. So we have to help people wake up to the fact that the real work is on the inside, building frames and building real relationships with people who can challenge your ideas, right? Not just give you facts from ChatGPT or Google, right? So remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.